Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds Podcast. I'm your co-host, Boo Gato, the cat that hands you your hush money back. And to my right over here is the main man, is just a nerd, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form the dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly Ideas, brothers, and spicier content, your girls and fans.
What's up, everybody? Before we get into the topic tonight, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. So, that I know of, a couple presidents that have boned. John F. Kennedy, my man Bill Clinton, maybe not boned, but you know, close. And my man Donald Trump. Listen. This has got to be one of the biggest L's in history. Imagine you got a little something, God knows how long ago, and because of that, you're actually going to jail. Now, I know for a lot of people that have been busted for getting some prostitution going on, I know that this is kind of your realm, but this man is rich. You would think this man would never have to deal with this, but looks like my man Trump's in the middle of it now. We had actually already recorded 3 different videos. We've already edited them and everything good to go. I was actually going to post one tomorrow, but given that this broke today, it's Thursday.
About to be midnight.
Broke today that Trump is getting indicted for the hush money payments that he made to Stormy Daniels back in God knows when, right before he was elected president in 2016. For something that happened way before then. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what's the big deal? Well, I mean, the big deal is, according to what happened, is he cheated on his wife right after she had their son Barron. Now, imagine that. The people that supposedly like this man because he is God's chosen and blah, 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 had an affair with a woman right after his wife gave birth to their son, to their child. And while she's sitting at home, this man's out getting it. Now, look, I'm not here to judge nobody based on what they're doing. I'm not gonna kink shame nobody. But let's keep it 100. This is a major L. This man got a little something. He was ashamed of it. He knew that, hey, theoretically, these people, these evangelicals, would not support him. We got to keep this on the DL. But nah, my man took this major L and now he's caught up. What do you think about that, my man?
It is a huge major L considering the person that he done it with has gone on a memoir basically detailing the entire thing, detailing all the naughty acts, the size of his member, all of this. All this is going to be a major L.
No problem down there, folks.
And again, it just brings to mind like all those like mobster movies. Again, like I talked about in the last video, all those mobster movies about all the empire was basically built from the ground. Well, okay, not built from the ground, built off the backs of other people, and they had perfectly running ship, but they had one little tiny slip up, one little thing that they just couldn't do without, and now it's just gonna all come crashing down like Hulk Hogan's song. So it's ridiculous. Like all this to say that this entire thing, just because my man had to suffer the crime of being horny, that this entire empire is going to come down. A big L, granted, a rightful L, but a big L nonetheless.
You know, it's funny because, so I've done, you're completely right. I've done criminal defense. I also worked for the court for a bit wherein we were doing part of the criminal process there as well. And, it's true in what my man here says that it's literally the smallest things. I remember there was this one case where apparently dude had a few keys in the back of some meth. I don't know if keys is the right term, whatever it may be, kilos, whatever it may be for meth. I don't traffic in that, so I couldn't tell you. With that being said, he had a few of them in the back. Apparently, this individual got pulled over not because of any suspicious activity or anything like that, but because he had a tail light out. When the police pulled him over, tail lights for the tail light, this individual was acting suspicious. They ran the dog, and wouldn't you know it, they busted him. This man is now doing, I think at that time it was like 7 or 8 years, something like that, simply because of a broken tail light. Same concept. This is the same exact concept. This man became president. This man, according to him, is a billionaire. I highly doubt it. But this man currently has billions of dollars, and it's this thing. Now, let's keep it 100 here. Again, we went over this on the last video where we said before he gets indicted, before he gets arrested. In this video, let's kind of go over the reality like we did before. He did it. It's not that big a deal. Let's just. We don't need to play the politics game on the left and the right. He did it. Many people that are associated with him did it. In fact, Stormy Daniels says, "Look, I'm not even doing it for clout. I'm not proud that I did it. It wasn't a Me Too. She has nothing to gain. She's not making any sort of claim. She just says, look, it happened. It is what it is. So again, let's just acknowledge the truth. He did it. It's not that big a deal. Let's just accept that as fact for everybody on the left and the right. Now, with that being said, the reason that this is such a major L is because, look, listen. First of all, this particular charge that he's being charged with, it's not that big of a thing. It's a misdemeanor, potentially a felony. But imagine, because you got some, God knows how many years ago, you're potentially not going to get a chance at the presidency again. It's a major L because presidents, this is a while back, so I don't know if this is what the current amount is, but a while back, I remember looking just out of curiosity, presidents at that time, I was young, so they were making like 400 G's a year, basically just, by being president. Now, I'm sure that went up, because with, everything that goes up, inflation and whatnot, so does those type of salaries. Well, with that being said, can you imagine missing out on potentially, what is that? $1.6 million just because you got some? And really, it's more than 1.6 because he ended up paying her 130, which she gets to keep. And now, he can't even say, hey, let me get that money back. Because if he says, hey, let me get that money back, it's basically like he's admitting it, which he still denies. But again, major L. This man lost $1.7 million because of just trying to get a little something. According to Stormy Daniels, it didn't even go that long anyway. So imagine paying $1.7 million for like a quick 5-minute nut. It's hilarious to me. It's funny because, look, listen, I know that a lot of people in our audience that watch these videos, they're probably gonna be like, oh, he didn't do nothing. Listen, folks, let's just keep it a buck here. He did it, and the thing is, to me, I don't care if you're on the left or right. I'm not trying to say that I'm gonna persecute this man for getting some. What I am gonna persecute this man is just own it, bro. Just be like, look, I did it. Let's move on. The thing is, it wouldn't have been that big a deal, but this man chose to pay out of it with campaign funds, and it turned into a whole thing because of that. He lied, so on and so forth. It's kind of ridiculous that this is the first thing he's getting charged with, because I'm not going to lie to you. Who knows if it's going to stick? He's just been indicted. And that's not to say he's going to be hauled off to prison. And even if he got, a guilty verdict against him, slap on the wrist for this man. It's funny because I was actually just watching an interview that got posted about 8 hours ago with Pence, his former vice president. And this man was like trying to make every excuse in the book and say, look, bro, you were an evangelical. If anybody should be outraged, if anybody should be, oh, this shouldn't happen, it's you, my man. It's funny how all these dudes are still licking the ass crack of Trump, even though the man is clearly going down in flames. He's in some polls, he's not even beating DeSantis. But the mere fact that this might be the thing that takes this man down is hilarious to me.
Some people are just so lost in the sauce in that, man. Like, all these people was like, well, we don't know for sure. It was like, my man, he's had history with Trump University, all the Trump organizations, all the charities he's been doing. He's had a history of misappropriating funds since like God knows when, since like the 1990s. Trump real estate, the Trump casino, the Trump Taj Mahal. It's had a history of misappropriating funds. But this one thing, that's the one thing we don't believe, that he's misappropriating funds like that. And I remember seeing a bunch of comments like, oh, well, if we indict him, that's going to set a precedent for indicting President Slater. I was like, yo, weren't y'all just saying lock her up, like 7 years ago? Now all of a sudden lock him up. No. We don't want to do that. That's setting precedent for indictment of future presidents. Like, yo,
good.
You can't say like
good.
And that's the thing.
If you did something, go to jail.
Exactly. That's my thing. If you're against criminals being elected into office, you should be for indictment of presidents being a friggin' precedent. No, he's like, no, not him. I was like, no, if you want it across the board. You don't want it just for our people, you want it for your guys as well. Personally, if I knew my president was getting their dick sucked on my dollar, I'd be rightfully pissed. So to say that, oh, I don't want to set any presidents for that, I was like, my man, you've been wanting to set up presidents for 7 years. And don't pretend like you don't know that. Only because just because it's your guy that's doing it, don't pretend for 1 second that you didn't want a precedent. I think that's ridiculous.
It's funny because I'm glad. And here's the thing, I'm not even glad because it's Trump. I could care less. Go after Biden if he's done something illegal, if he's committed a crime. Go after anybody. I don't care. Like, listen, the fact that rich people get a pass so often is weird to me, that you guys, especially because most of the people that watch this are normies. Most of the people that watch, not just ours, but other podcasts, even the people that watch the Joe Rogan podcast. You guys are normies. You guys are people that are just like the everyday individual. How could you guys advocate for the rich just basically getting away with everything? Listen, again, who knows if this particular charge is going to stick? It's a minor offense, and again, even regular individuals probably get a slap on the wrist, maybe some probation, maybe some house arrest. Nothing super major. Again, I don't know if it's gonna stick. But with that being said, there's other pending charges out there potentially. Things that he can be charged with. So the fact that people are so up in arms over this little tiny thing, it's like, yo, this is just the first leak in the dam. You guys don't even know, and some of you may know, but there's a lot of other things that are going on out there as far as like the things that this man has done. Here's the thing: these are just the things that we know about. I'm sure there's plenty of other things out there that this man's done that we don't know about. So take this as a blessing, because this is the smallest thing that this man could be charged with. Now, with that being said, I personally do believe that now that this little leak has sprang from the dam, I do believe that this is going to bring on a flood. I do believe now that he's been charged, a number of other individuals will be like, you know what, I was kind of scared because I was going to get thrown both ways in the political party, but it's been done, so let me go ahead and do it. Again, it's just a major L because according to Stormy, it was terrible, didn't last very long, he's got something to hide. And according to him, it didn't happen. Can you imagine taking this big of a L over something that didn't happen, something that was apparently not great, not fun? Listen, I'm not gonna shame this man because we need to stop body shaming because women love to do that to men, and we need to stop doing that across the board, even with the people that I don't like. But with that being said, listen, if you're gonna lose out on $1.7 million, make it worth it. Don't let it be for something boring. I'm telling you, better go out. Anything you want to ask that, my man?
Nah, I think I got all off my chest.
With that being said, please like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.